Hey everybody, so I'm going to do a quick video showing you how to do SSH keys on GitHub. So, authenticating your identity to GitHub is a complicated thing. Generally speaking, you can access public repositories, like these ones that say public, without having any authentication. After all, GitHub doesn't care who looks at public repositories. So access in the sense of downloading or cloning, to be much more specific, but you would never be able to write to these unless you were able to write to this directory, unless you had the permissions to do so. And to write to any repositories, you need to be authenticated. Also, there are repositories that are private, where not everybody can view them. I guess I don't have any on my pins, but that makes sense because I wouldn't pin them so that people could see repositories they weren't allowed. But yes, if I want to access my own private repos, I will also need to even have authentication to read them. So how can we do that? One of the best ways to do this is through SSH. SSH is a cryptographic mechanism for communication between computers. It stands for Secure Shell, SSH. And SSH is used all the time on the internet. You just haven't realized it for the most part. The way SSH works is through cryptographic keys. So let's just go ahead and show you how to make a set of cryptographic keys. So you will need keys for every login and computer you use. That is, if I am Jay Fleischer on this computer, and I'm also Jason Fleischer on another computer, and I'm also Batman on the same computer I'm Jay Fleischer on, all three of the situations, two separate computers, two separate logins, same computer, they all need their own keys. So when you are logged on as a particular person on a particular computer, you should, at a prompt, be able to use SSH keygen. And if I remember correctly, probably should have looked this up first, what you'd like to do is create an RSA style key. So RSA is a particular algorithm for generating cryptographic keys. It's not the only choice that exists, but it's a good default choice. When you make a cryptographic key on a Linux or Unix style system, including macOS, or including a Windows system that has Cygwin installed on it, you would do something that looks a lot like this process. Here I'm doing it on macOS, so, At any rate, the defaults here are sensible. It's going to create a set of keys in a special hidden directory. .ssh is a hidden directory. It's going to make a key called IDRSA. So I can just hit enter here, and it's going to make defaults. Now, you can have a super secret password to lock up your keys. Generally, as long as your computer account is secure where you're making this, you don't have to do anything here. I would just hit enter again. Hitting enter is a good default to do. So hitting enter a second time. Okay, what you have done is made a set of keys. There's one public key and one private key. This is not the place for me to go into how cryptographic, public-private key pairs work. It is a really interesting process, probably worth your time studying just because the internet basically runs on public-private keys. It's also a really good introduction to a bunch of computer science sort of topics to understand how cryptographic key pairs work. But let's just assume that what you need to do here is purely functional. You need to get yourself on GitHub. So let's change directory into this .ssh hidden directory. You will see two keys here. Now, the .pub is the public key. The one that doesn't have .pub, it's private. Never let anybody see it. Not once, not ever. This cryptography doesn't work if other people know your private key. Okay, the public key, however, is how we're going to access GitHub. So I can look at the public key and I can copy paste that key. So here I'm highlighting, pressing copy. All right. I'm going to go to my account. So my big fat picture up there. I'm going to go to profile. Actually, I'm going to go to settings. That's where I need to go. And you will see on settings over here, SSH keys. So you can see that I have a bunch of keys already. Again, I have keys for every computer login pair. So I have my laptop, I have my data hub as Jay Fleischer, and I have a data hub as my Grader account. Okay, I can simply put in a new SSH key by clicking new. I'm going to put in a title which will allow me to actually know what it is that this key is about access for. And I can simply paste that key. Now, the key must start with this SSH-RSA. It must go through all these cryptographic letters at the end here. See, it ends out. And then there's a who did it, Jason Fleischer at Rabona. Okay, this part, Jason Fleischer, the who did it, is optional. You can leave it in, you can leave it out. I'm going to leave it out. Don't put extra characters. There's a white space character here. I'm going to kill that. And you can add your SSH key. So I just created this new key. And now if I do Git operations from here using this SSH key, I will be able to do them. The end. Obviously, you can manage your keys by deleting them if they are no longer valid or you don't want to allow access for that. Again, this is in your own account under settings and then SSH keys. All right, make sure that you do this separately for Data Hub and for your own laptop. They're going to have two separate keys, one key for each, and you'll be good to access GitHub at any time. Have fun, everybody. Bye.